We actually did it, and it was way quicker than I thought it was going to be. We reached 18,000 subscribers on the channel, and today it doesn't get any less exciting because it's time for the Champions League Week 4 predictions. I haven't yet pulled the trigger on creating the membership/join button for the full 90 channel. I did a little test run over the weekend as to what I could provide for people joining the membership club, and basically I made a massive document of tips over the weekend with the top 6 leagues, so the Premier League, the Bundesliga, La Liga, Serie A, the Portugal Premier League, and Ligue 1. And then I did some tips for other leagues outside of that as well. There were 35 tips overall, and I think 27 of them came in, which I thought was really, really cool. And all of my tips from the other leagues that weren't in the top 5 leagues or top 6 leagues came in as well. Up here with the 7 tips I had for the other leagues, and all of them came in. Salzburg's game to have over 3.5 goals, 1.9, and we didn't stick with the result, which was great because it ended 2-2. Zenit and Petersburg to win, Zagreb to win, Olympiacos to win, PAOK to win with a -1 handicap, Athens to win, and Feyenoord to win as well, all came in. So I'm just testing out how I'd go about getting tips and doing research for a potential membership where I couldn't do obviously videos on all these leagues, but I could do exclusive content for members of the full 90 channel. So I'm testing things out to see how I'd get it done, so stay tuned. But anyway, it is time for the Champions League fixtures kicking off tomorrow. We're starting with Malmo up against Chelsea. This is going to be a routine win for Chelsea. Obviously, they lost to Juventus in the Champions League, so they want to secure the points against teams like Malmo, who are considerably worse. So I'm not going to spend much longer on this and just say it's going to be a 2-0 Chelsea win. Chelsea have got a few absentees, of course, but they're far better than Malmo, and they will be able to win this unscathed, convincingly. Chelsea win to 0 as a tip if you want it. I'm not going to do tips on every game. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll just throw them out there. Probably not text on the screen, but if you're listening, then maybe take note of what I'm saying. After that, we have Wolfsburg up against FC Salzburg. Now, Wolfsburg did just beat Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga, but before that, they weren't in the greatest of form. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Salzburg just came off of a shock 2-2 draw at the weekend, and I'm going to go for the same result. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. My tip here would probably be both teams to score. Again, take these tips with a pinch of salt. I'm making them up on the spot, but I'm offering you something just in case you do want to dabble with it. After that, we have Atalanta up against Manchester United. Atalanta, another game I predicted over 2.5 goals against Lazio. They ended up drawing 2-2. And Manchester United, I predicted that they would beat Tottenham because Tottenham are absolutely awful, and they managed to win 3-0. So I think this is going to be a very, very close game. Unlike when Man United managed to beat Villareal with a goal at the end from Cristiano Ronaldo, I do think Man United were the better team against Atalanta in their victory against them. They just switched off a couple times at the back. I do think similar sort of thing could happen. I think Atalanta will get a goal, but I'm going to give Manchester United a win here. I'm going to go for another 2-1 away win to Manchester United. After that, we have Bayern Munich up against Benfica. Bayern coming off of a shock loss against Mönchengladbach in the German Cup, 5-0, and then normal business resumed in the Bundesliga, absolutely smashing it as always. Lewandowski in the goals again. I'm going to go for another high-scoring win to Bayern Munich. I'm going to go for a 4-1 win. I think Benfica might get a goal, but I wouldn't be certain on it. I think Bayern Munich to win at -1 or maybe even -2 handicap is something to be considered here. I could see them winning by at least 3 goals easily, even if Benfica do score. But -1 handicap to Bayern Munich seems like a fairly decent tip for me. After that, we have Dynamo Kiev up against Barcelona. Barcelona struggling in La Liga again. Obviously, my thoughts go out to Sergio Aguero, who was taken off the pitch with breathing problems. I don't know any updates on that as of yet, but hopefully he will be okay. Barcelona in a spot of trouble in La Liga, failing to win again, even though they absolutely dominated the match. I'm going to go for a low-scoring win to Barcelona here. 2-0 away from home. After that, we have Juventus up against Zenit St. Petersburg. Juve, oh my goodness, they can say goodbye to Serie A and winning that this year. That's going to Napoli or AC Milan. They are absolutely floundering in Serie A right now, losing to Verona, I believe it was, losing to Sassuolo as well, back-to-back. Luckily for them, they've been doing well in the Champions League. I think this is going to be very, very low scoring. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Juventus, but my goodness, if they're going to get anything from this season, it will have to be in the Champions League, and unfortunately, they're not good enough. However, they are going to win this game, I think. After that, we have Sevilla up against Lille. Lille struggling this season compared to last season. Sevilla looking very, very decent. It's probably my favorite prediction across all the leagues, everywhere you go. Sevilla at home to win 2-0. I think if you could bet on every correct score for every team, you would win the most money betting on Sevilla to win 2-0 at home. Absolutely unreal how consistent they are. Their defense is very, very solid, and they always get a couple of goals. I'm going to go for that 2-0 win to Sevilla. After that, the final game of Tuesday, we have Villareal up against Young Boys. An unbelievable result for Unai Emery and his team away from home in Switzerland last time out, 4-1 to Villareal. I don't see this changing. Whilst Villareal have been struggling to pick up wins in La Liga, drawing a lot of games, I think they are going to win this game at home against Young Boys. Both teams will score. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Villareal. Coming up after that, we have AC Milan up against SC Porto. Porto getting a very, very good 1-0 win against Milan in the previous round of fixtures. I was not expecting that, even though Porto do have ridiculously good home form. AC Milan have just come off the back of beating Roma away from home 2-1 to stay neck and neck with Napoli on 31 points out of a possible 33 in Serie A, which is unbelievable. And they are at home this time. I'm going to go for a draw. I think AC Milan, if I had to pick a winner, I'd go with AC Milan, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Porto made good accounts of themselves in the last game, so I'm going to give them something in this one. After that, we have Real Madrid up against Shakhtar Donetsk. I think it's going to be very, very similar to the previous game. I'm going to go for a comfortable win to Real Madrid. The hoodoo is over. The Shakhtar Donetsk curse is over. I'm going to go for a 3-0 win to Real Madrid. Now, after that, we have Borussia Dortmund up against Ajax. I might change my prediction here. I don't know. I don't know if Erling Haaland is actually going to be available for this game. He was out over the weekend in their 2-0 win over Köln, which was a good win. They did well not to concede. Borussia Dortmund very rarely keep clean sheets these days. And Ajax, they absolutely dismantled Dortmund last time, and Sebastian Haller is the top scorer in the Champions League group stage so far. So I do think Ajax is going to get a couple of goals. This one is a tough one. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw between the two teams because Dortmund will not want a repeat of the previous fixture. But if I had to pick a winner, I'd probably say Ajax. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw in this one. After that, we have Liverpool up against Atletico Madrid at Anfield. Liverpool coming off the back of a 2-2 draw against Brighton, and Atletico Madrid dispatching of an informed Real Betis in La Liga. So I think, again, it's going to be a close game. Usually, I think one goal to separate these two teams. It's at Anfield, so I think that's going to give Liverpool the boost they need to come away with a 2-1 win. But I think it's going to be very, very close. After that, we have Man City up against Club Brugge, and City just came off of a shock loss against Crystal Palace. Unbelievable, but it's not going to happen here. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Manchester City. I don't think there'll be... it could be high scoring. It's the thing with Manchester City. When you think it's going to be high scoring, it's a 1-0. When you think it's going to be low scoring, it's 5-0. You just never know. But I'm going to go for a City win regardless. After that, we have RB Leipzig up against PSG. PSG, they're making hard work of it in Ligue 1. They're winning pretty much all their games, but it's always by the odd goal. It's always late, and usually they do come from behind as well. So I think this is going to be a close game, but I do think on a Champions League night, even though Lionel Messi have been struggling a little bit in the league, he always seems to turn up in the Champions League, and as does Neymar, as does Mbappe, all of them. I think it's going to be a PSG win. I'm going to go for another 3-2 win. After that, we have Sheriff Tiraspol up against Inter Milan. I'm going to go for an Inter Milan win here. I did it in the last round, and I don't think Sheriff are going to score a goal this time. I'm going to go for a 2-0 away win to Inter Milan. And to finish it off, we have Sporting up against Besiktas. Sporting's home record is absolutely phenomenal. And Besiktas, they were dismantled by Sporting in the previous round at home. I don't see them getting anything in this fixture. Maybe I've been generous to Besiktas, giving them a goal here because Sporting rarely concede at home. I'm going to go, however, for the 2-1 win to Sporting. So that just about does it and concludes my predictions for the Champions League Week 4. There's a lot of exciting games here. If I had to go through all the games and think of some tips, I'd go, yes, Chelsea win to 0, Bayern Munich to win at a -1 handicap, Sevilla to win. I think that's just good on its own. Real Madrid to win. I would say over 2.5 goals in the Liverpool game looks pretty good. Both teams to score in the Leipzig PSG game. And Inter Milan to beat Sheriff Tiraspol. There you go. If you want to chuck that all in the accumulator, I could see all of those happening, to be honest. Let me get some odds for you. So there you have it. Chelsea win to 0, Bayern Munich -1, Sevilla to win, over 2.5 in the Liverpool game, both teams to score in the PSG Leipzig game, and Inter Milan to win. If you put £10 on that, you could see yourself getting £160 back. So that might be worth a shot. In fact, I might do that myself. I think that looks very, very good. But that is going to do it from me. If you did enjoy this video, please do drop a like on it and subscribe down below, as we're well on the way to 19, then 20,000 subscribers. I think we can hit 20,000 by the end of the year if we push really, really hard, because there's going to be a lot of content coming up over the next couple of months. We've got Champions League, Premier League, and it's chocked full in November and December, as it always is. So that is going to do it from me, and I will see you in the next video in a couple of days for my Premier League predictions.